Hey y'all, welcome to Mama Mysteries, the channel that brings you interdimensional content, which means that the readings are from a broad and expansive point of view as they are channeled through vast dimensions of space and time and therefore should resonate with you guys whenever you come across them. Hey y'all, so this is iNzunza reading. And I want to speak about iNzunza in relation to the social construct because there's a way in which iNzunza knows how to navigate the social construct that is transcendental of duality. And it doesn't have to be constantly. It doesn't have to be like, you don't have to be in a constant state of non duality, but understanding and tapping into states of non duality will help you connect to iNzunza better because it will help you understand iNzunza from a more expansive point of view, which is necessary for embodiment. iNzunza understands that the social construct is there for the foundational stage of consciousness expansion. The social construct is a guide. I always say to you guys, the social construct is not necessarily a bad thing. I'm not mad at the social construct. But in those readings, the perspective from which I normally be speaking from is from a perspective where I encourage you to not use the social construct as a crutch to the point where you actually believe that the templates that make up the social construct are actually who you are instead of tools to discovering who you actually are. However, in the foundational stages of oversoul, higher soul embodiment, or in the foundational stages of consciousness expansion, the social construct is necessary because it almost teaches the human about the soul, what the soul is for, what it feels like to have the soul. Then there is a need at that point to understand that the social construct it's just templates. It was just examples. It wasn't actually you. You are that which you are now feeling. You are that which is now becoming. That which is new to you. That which sometimes actually goes further than where the social construct can take you. Because the construct isn't meant to take you that far. The matrix isn't meant to take you that far. It's supposed to just be an example. And maybe I'm being presumptuous by saying it's supposed to, because I know that a lot of people think of the matrix and the social construct as like a kind of like an enemy, so to speak, like an adversary, which I think is a point of view that is natural in a state of duality. If you are good, there must be another that is bad. And that's why people will be like, they are hiding this from us. They don't want you to know about this. They don't, who the fuck is they? The government. And like, I'm not saying there are like, yes, there are like, systematic programs out there that are set or put in place in order to have specific results come out of the collective. Yes, I get that. But this transmission is to connect you to a state of non-duality that helps you understand that you can receive beneficial information and tools even from that which you do not like. even from that which you do not agree with. And in doing that for a while, like you start to realize that for you at least, it's not really about the opposite ends of the spectrum. Like you're an adventurer, you're an explorer, you're a mystic. You seek out knowledge in order to advance your state of being and to always be living out the best version of who you are, reflected by the best life, which doesn't have to mean not getting angry or not getting sad or whatever. No, it means constant change, constant evolution, constant expansion. So yeah, um, even if you are staying or in close proximity with someone that you feel like doesn't treat you well, treats you unfairly, has a narcissist template, I need you to be aware. And Inzunza knows how to do this, but I think sometimes you will feel like you're betraying yourself somehow, or you may not know how to navigate the situation, but Inzunza will know how to do this, and it does do it. There are still things that you can learn from these people. There are certain traits that they carry. There's certain things that they do, even things that you would describe as like, that is so fucking selfish, or that is so whatever. But especially as an empath, I need you to understand how as an empath, it's very likely that you lack boundaries. It's very likely that you measure your value based on what you can do for another, based on the energetic healing, frequency healing that you can offer to another. And a lot of times that involves you not knowing how to say no. Or it involves you not saying yes when you want something and pretending that you don't want it because you think that makes you virtuous or righteous or something. And so when you get tossed into this pit of people that target you or bully you or make you feel some type of way that I'd be receiving these emails from all these like Nzunza people, and you all talk about this like treatment from family, from certain friends, like from lovers, like this all this treatment like from these people. And you must be able to seek out, even in situations or people that you don't like, that you have deemed like this is not working, you must be able to seek out and connect to the certain aspects of them that you're able to see that like, yeah, but I need that. Like, I need that. Like, maybe this person, right, like I said, treats you badly and whatever, but they have this like ability to like mind their own business. Like, even when someone is going through something, they never extend themselves fully into that. Maybe they don't extend themselves at all. Maybe they literally just do not give a fuck. Like, they just don't. And okay, fine. You can sit there and be like, wow, this person is such a bastard because, like, what the hell? This person is close to you and they're going through something. Why aren't you giving of yourself? But when you start to uncover who you really are and you start to build up boundaries, it would behoove you to realize that, okay, because again, you don't have to take the whole thing, tweak it. Like, okay, this person treats me really badly and I don't like them and I hope they go to hell. But I actually admire the way they're able to put themselves first. Because I've noticed that this person is always going through something and they always need someone to comfort them and whatnot. And yeah, I get it. We all want to comfort them. But I've noticed how this one, every time this one acts like that, this one goes into their room and they read a book, or they completely just like act invisible. They preserve their energy. And again, this can be someone who you don't like, who is a piece of shit, who this exact action you have criticized before and called them selfish for that. Like, maybe it's not even just with this person, they just never give of themselves. And that's okay, but you have like that ability that you have to realize that I kind of need that trait. Like realizing that I would tweak it a little bit in that I would like also develop discernment to know when someone is just like trying to siphon my energy through their drama, and to also know when someone actually needs my help. And that, because at this point as an empath, I do not know, and I'm always trying to give of myself because I weigh my value in how much someone else can use me, and they don't do that. And I admire them about that. I admire that about them. They're horrible to me and I still hate them, but I really admire that. And being able to connect to that. And in doing that, that's how you use all of your Legos. Because a lot of you do tend to like feel stuck in certain situations, and you feel like, yeah, but I've already cut off all these people and I really don't even care about them and I don't talk up to them and I'm over it. Why am I not moving on from the stage where I'm at? Like, then why am I still I'm doing the things. I've cut these people off. I'm not engaging. I'm not entertaining. Why am I not moving on from this particular stage? Because you haven't used all the Legos. There's some Legos that you don't use. You're like, I need to push it. No, you gotta use all the Legos. There's still more in the situation that you haven't interacted with. And so you're still needing to absorb more information in order to get through from the current stage. And yeah, the social construct is like that. You may not like it, the matrix. You may feel like it traps you. You may feel like they are trying to put you down. If you open yourself up to looking at the matrix or the social construct as a collective mind, which would mean that you're part of the matrix, you're part of the social construct. And allowing yourself to be aware of how the social construct works in your life, I assure you that eventually, firstly, you will admire it because it's genius, because it is a perfect equation. It is absolutely genius. And secondly, you should at some point get to a point where you understand that it's not meant to trap you. It's not a prison. It's not meant to trap you. It's a foundational stage of soul embodiment, of consciousness expansion. It's not how, and even how is not that. How is not this like horrible place where people burn and the sins are the whatnot. It's a foundational stage. And I wonder when all of that became that. I wonder when the foundational stage of development became bad or a punishment. or even stupid. Like, because even when we say low vibrational, that's why I always try to say low vibrational is just less options. It's limited thought patterns, limited emotional patterns, limiting self beliefs, limited consciousness. That's why cycles are easier to create in low vibrational spaces. It's not bad. But also, I will take it a step further and say low vibrational spaces or realms or anything like that, it's foundational stages. Whatever's happening there is not happening because the people are bad or whatnot. It's not jealousy and lack and hate and anger or whatever. It's not that because it's bad. It's that because it's the foundational stages, excuse me, of soul embodiment, of consciousness expansion. So yeah. Okay, I'm gonna pull some cards. I hope you guys, yeah, I hope you guys understand what I'm saying. It's like, so you know how I'll talk about like how certain people seem to understand love as an emotion instead of a state of being. The understanding of love as an emotion is not because those people are stupid or they're not spiritual enough or they don't understand. It's because like the concept of love has just been like touched on by their energy. It's still a new concept. They're getting to it eventually through soul evolution, through soul embodiment or consciousness expansion. They will get to a space where love is a state of being, where that part of their blueprint is activated, but they're currently in a state where love is just an emotion, and that is that is a shallow, and that's not a judgment, it's just an observation. Like, that is a shallow state of love. However, it is a learning phase. It is the learning phase of love, because that's the love that the social construct offers you. And again, I repeat, the social construct was never meant to offer you a full soul. It was never meant to offer you full consciousness. It was meant to ignite that within you. Like, kind of like a trailer, to be like, you can't watch the trailer and be like, I watched the whole movie. And yeah, there are those trailers where you're like, bro, I just watched the movie. But you didn't though. And the social construct, the matrix was never meant to be the whole thing. It was never meant to do that. It is how it is by design. It was just meant to boost you. Like, give you that initial so that you can go on. And Inzunza knows this. And that's why Inzunza, if you notice, it's not really big on good, bad. It uses what it's given. It uses what is there in order to advance its state of being, which includes you and your development. And that's basically what it uses, what's in front of you to advance your state of being, to expand your consciousness. It doesn't sit there talking about, oh, this is bad. Oh, your ex was a piece of shit, such a narcissist. Oh my God, she thought she was better than you. Like, it doesn't have time for that. By the time your relationship ends, like, when are you busy there, like, oh my God, fucking hate her. He was so bad to me. Like, I was like, awkward. But okay. And Shem, at the same time, it knows how to comfort. Not for the sake of comfort. Never. Not for the sake of comfort. Always for the sake of expansion. Akudlalwa la guys, kuyasetshenzwa. Anyway, let's pull some cards. Let's pull some cards. The Sphinx. The Sphinx represents embodiment. And how embodiment allows you to access, I want to say many states of being. It's infinite states of being, but I don't want to scare people. So many states of being. It allows you to access many states of being, which allows you to flow. And what I mean by flow is that it allows you to be of the same flow, allows you to be on the same wavelength as the all. Being able to access different states of being allows for constant change. Constant change allows immortality. There's some of you who are still thinking about past disappointments, thinking about how had you made a different decision in the past, things would be different right now. But that's not true. Yes, things would be different, but the way they're different right now is what you needed for where you're going, and you're soon going to understand that there's a decision that you've always felt guilt about or kind of regretted in the past, and now you're going to see why it was necessary for that to occur. How that which you had deemed a bad decision has suddenly brought you to a place where you've always wanted to be, but maybe forgot, or always wanted to be, but didn't know how you were going to get there. You seem to grieve this decision often. And there's also something about how, how I was talking about with people that you may not like or may not agree with, but being able to spot a characteristic within them that you may need to move forward in something. Yeah, a lot of you are about to understand that. And also, it seems like that comes with healing. It seems like that may be, I don't know, like the final stages of, and when I say the final stages, I don't mean healing is done. Healing is a constant thing, like grief. There's a lot of those, the constant ones, because healing means balance, the balancing of energies. So that's a constant thing. That's always happening. And this thing where you're going to understand that even in the people that you may not always agree with, there are still characteristics that you require, that you need to learn, and that's why you've been put with these people. It doesn't mean that you must now be friends. It doesn't mean that you must now get back together. No. It's just an understanding of why you were there in the first place, and it's going to provide healing. Which is to say, it's going to provide balance. And Balance for me is a state of non-duality. I don't know how you can achieve balance in duality. Um, or maybe I just can't think of it right now. But yeah, balance is always a state of non-duality. It's when you allow two or more than two um seemingly opposing concepts to exist at the same time. Sooner or later, you start to realize that they're not opposing each other. That's what you're going to realize. That's what this decision in the past, you thought you chose a side, something like that. Or maybe you didn't choose the side that you thought you should have chosen, something like that. But it's only later now when you're understanding that it's possible, for example, to think that your father was a good father, but you're aware that he might have been a bad husband to your mom, or your father was a good father to you, but wasn't a good father to your little brother, your little sister. Like those, because him not being a good father to your little brother, sister, doesn't change the fact that they were a good father to you. So those are two seemingly opposing ideas that exist in the same place. That place is you, your mind, your heart, and allowing them to just be that that creates balance because it's okay. They're not fighting each other. You're allowing it to exist. You're allowing yourself to understand your father as a layered human being, which is necessary because that's exactly what you are too. There's people who think you're bad and you're mean and you're kind of an asshole. And there's people that think that you are the most gentle soul they've ever met. Both are true. Both are true. So yeah, again, I guess this transmission is basically about how Nzunza is helping you to balance out the seemingly conflicting narratives and stories of your being, because the conflict is starting to hold you back. The inner war is getting older. Not in a judgmental way, just an observation. It's getting old. It's getting old for you. Like, no, porigide. Like, you're also bored, friend. Like, so, and the next step is to just allow all of these things to exist within you. Like, the mother that you hate can also be one of the smartest people you've ever met. Take what you admire, take what you need, throw out the rest. It's actually such a simple thing. You're gonna wonder, why hadn't you done that all along? Do you know why? Because you were so attached to the past that you don't like, the past that treated you badly because they gave you an identity. You were the abused one, you were the unfortunate one, you were the victim, which, yes, you were at the time. But there are other things to be. Like, there are other things to be. Be the other things also. They don't have to conflict. Like, yes, oh yes. Did they make you a victim? Yes, they did. Did they also teach you how to deal with that friend of yours that you didn't know how to do? Yes, they did. They did. Sometimes we feel as if, like, letting go of these attachments we have to certain ideas, like the matrix is horrible, is bad, or whatever. Maybe that makes you bad. We need the matrix to be bad because you need to be on the good side, and that's really what duality is for. But when you start to understand yourself as multidimensional, you don't need that. You don't require the function of duality, which is to make you fully understand one point by separating yourself from another point. Okay, that's what I have for you guys. If the reading resonated, please like, share, and subscribe. And if you want to book a personal reading or a mentorship session, all the information is in the description box. Cool, y'all. Later.